Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football back here at the Texas High School Coaches Association and Convention. We are here with the new head coach of the Lubbock Estacado Matadors, Coach Eric Ward. Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us. And first off, congratulations on the new gig.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
First off, Coach, I'm only 44, but makes me feel old. Because I watched you at Ryder High School when I was a younger reporter, covering your teams with Shavadrick Beaver, Jarrell Thompson, and those guys. Coach Ponder coaching those teams. Some great teams at Ryder. Had a great game against my alma mater at Texas Stadium. So it makes me feel a little old that you're a head coach, but I remember you were a heck of a player there at Ryder, and you left your hometown. You were there at Wichita Falls City View. You're leaving your hometown. You're heading to your other hometown there in Lubbock after you had a great career there at Texas Tech. When you got the call from Coach Meeks that you were the guy there at Estacado, how excited were you?
I don't think I could put words to explain it. I was very excited. I mean, it was one of them surreal deals for me, and I know it was a lifelong goal of mine.
You talk about that, and a lot of guys, there's only so many head coaching jobs in the state of Texas. Texas is a big state, but there's still that. There's a lot of coaches. There's 18,000 coaches here, so there's only so many head coaching jobs in the state of Texas, and they're hard to get.
Yes, sir.
And so you get that job, and now you want to get in that job, and you want to stay in that job and win a lot of games. And a lot of guys, their first job, they don't walk into a program that's had success. They have to take over programs that are rebuilding, those kind of things. How fortunate do you feel to be able to walk into a program that's had some success and has the raw material to be a good program?
I think it's a great situation. My job is not to reinvent the wheel, just pour into those kids and let them do what they do.
And when you look at it, I think there is a challenge though. You got hired late, and anytime you get hired late, you're scrambling. You're drinking from a fire hose, right? You're trying to get to know the kids, number one, but you got to build your coaching staff. You got to get to know the teachers in the building, especially at a smaller school like Estacado. Every teacher, you got to shake all their hands, get to know everybody in the principal and everybody in the building and the community as well. So that posed a challenge. So how did you kind of handle that late hire and the lateness of getting in there so late? How did you did you have a game plan coming in to kind of handle all that?
Yes, sir. I had a game plan, but to answer your question, a lot of prayer. Just making sure that I hire good people that love kids. As first and foremost, good classroom teachers as coaches. And so I like to go out on a limb and say what Estacado has been very welcoming to me and my family, and so as the coaches, the kids, and the staff. And I think I couldn't ask for a better situation as the first-time head coach. And
so you mentioned you talk about that, and you get into summer strength and conditioning. Now you hit the ground running. You get to work, right? You're getting to work. How happy are you with the work that your kids have put in this summer? Because you know as well as anyone, you got to put in that work in the summer. You got to go out there and lift weights. You got to run those sprints. You got to go through those drills, and you got to throw and catch, and you got to hone your craft and get better. So how the kids? How happy are you with the kids' work they put in?
I'm very happy to see them respond the way they have. I want to go out and say Coach Blaylock did a great job with those kids, and they're very well respected. Very well oriented and very respectful kids and hard workers. And so that makes our job easy as coaches.
Sure.
And they show up, they get their work done, and then we coach them up while they're there, and we let them be kids.
And that's a balance you gotta kind of have with the kids, because obviously you want to work hard, you want to be better at your craft, but there's also you got to let them go out and have you don't want to burn them out, right? And I think as a coach, a lot of head coaches, you guys have to be psychologists in a lot of ways, and knowing when to push that button and press the gas a little bit, and then go, okay, maybe let me let out the gas a little bit, let his battery recharge a little bit. You have to kind of watch that kind of thing. But I think the summer strength and conditioning, it's the way the UIL gives you guys that time. It makes coming into a new situation a lot. I won't say easier, but a lot less hectic, because you can actually get your hands on them and do work with them, right?
Yes, sir. I think it's a great setup. Also, like you said, piggybacking off what you said, I think there has to be a balance for the kids, because you do not want to burn them out. The football season is long, and so you got to make sure they come in ready to roll, but at the same time, you want them to be refreshed.
And I know you want them to have a long season, because that means you're playing playoff games, right? It means you're winning. You're playing past Thanksgiving, and I know that's the goal there at Estacado, to win a lot of football games. You've only been a head coach now for a little more than a month.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that you know now that maybe you wish you knew, or is there anything that or is it just more about time management and learning how to, I think talking to head coach, doing this as long as I have, the more head coaches I talk to, they say, man, I don't get to coach football quite as much as I used to. I've got to do a lot of administrative type things. Is that one thing that maybe when you talk to your mentors about when you got the head coaching stuff, that's one thing they said to you?
That was the general consensus of it all, and now that I'm living through it, they're right. It's a lot of administrative things you have to do outside of football, but I think to get you through it, you have to surround yourself with knowledgeable coaches that have been there. For me, I think Coach Bendel has been a great resource of mine, and I think he has been like second to none when it comes to information.
I was going to ask you, I know, being a Rider guy, there's been some good guys come through Rider. Who are some of your, once you got your playing career done, and I know some coaches at Texas Tech were great mentors for you as well. Who are some of the guys who helped mentor you along the way and kind of helped you get to this point now?
Well, I mean, where do I start?
Yeah, and you're probably going to leave some guys off. Yeah, a lot of guys I know.
But for sure, Coach Bendel, actually, when I was in college as well, there was a guy who was our team chaplain, but he had a 15-year NFL career. Okay. His name was Stephen Grant, and he has been monumental in being a mentor for me. But a lot of coaches, Coach Ponder, Coach Ming, they're all from the Rider tree. A lot of those coaches have been instrumental in me being a successful assistant. I think you be a great assistant and show them that you're worthy of your work ethic, and just go out there and pour into the kids and do what's asked of you. They'll always help you out.
And that's one thing, now that you're in that position as a head coach, now you get to pass that down. That's the great thing about the coaching profession, right? Is now guys poured into you and helped, that helped you get to where you are today because they poured into you, and now you get to pour into other coaches and hopefully help them achieve their dreams. And you see coaches, guys who play against each other who still will sit down and talk ball and share ideas, and that's the profession, right?
Yes, sir. It's all about connecting with coaches, and also when you're an assistant, just going out there and doing what's asked of you the best of your ability, and if you don't know, ask questions.
Sure. And then also, now you get to the point now, you're not as old as me, obviously, but soon you might start seeing kids that you coached.
Yes, sir.
Now they're starting to get into coaching and that kind of thing, and then it just keeps going, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure Coach Bendel and Coach Garfield and guys that Coach Ponder, where they see you around, they're like, I coached that guy, now he's a head coach.
Yeah, and to piggyback off one of the biggest impact and influential coaches I've ever had in my life was Coach Garfield. And I mean, I can't speak on Coach Garfield enough. And I would say he is, I just think the world of him.
He's awesome. He's one of the best.
And yes, I think he is one of the best.
Yeah, he's awesome.
We call him the GOAT.
Yeah, he is. And he is that for a reason, yeah.
To just add on to that, I think Coach Garfield is one of those coaches who he's a relationship builder first, but he genuinely, and Coach Eric Luster as well, they genuinely do it from the heart, as well as all the other coaches I've mentioned. But that just is, and I'm speaking from a player perspective myself, because these coaches have coached me. And so I just think when you go into it with that aspect and that perspective on it, kids will always remember you.
Now, when you look at your ball club in 2024, I know you guys are a small school, so you don't get to do, not a small school, but you're a 4A school, so you don't get to do spring football and all that stuff. So the pads haven't come on yet, so you really don't know. But do you have a feel yet for what your ball club's personality is going to be? And if you don't, what is your vision of an Eric Ward coached football team? What are the kind of the things you guys need to hang your hat on?
Playing hard, fast, and physical. I want to say our kids are going to be relentless in their effort and go out there and play tough football.
Okay. And I think that to me reflects you as a player. People sometimes don't think of wide receivers as tough players, but I thought watching you play at Tech and at Rider, you were a guy who wasn't afraid to go over the middle and make tough catches in traffic. You played wide receiver. You weren't afraid to block and do all those little things. You played you played that position in a tough, fast, and physical way. And you probably thought about this. I think that's a reflection of you as a player during your playing days.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I believe toughness is second to none. It has to be first and foremost. You got to go out there and do your job, even if you don't get the ball. And so being a selfless teammate, like you just mentioned, with the blocking, you have to know how to block. Because blocking tells me who you are as an individual.
Sure.
And so this is a team effort, so everybody got to do their 1 of 11 and go out there and do their job. And so you do that by blocking, playing hard and physical.
And if you're not going to get the ball, running your route hard.
Running your route like you're going to get that ball.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, speaking of Texas Tech, we were at the Coach McGuire's social last night. They're good food, by the way. They had some good food there. The guys at Texas Tech took good care of us. So, I know being back home, being in Lubbock, being right across. I know Coach McGuire always opens his doors to not only any high school coaches, but especially a high school coach who played there at Texas Tech. So, what's your thoughts on Texas Tech going into 2024? How excited are you, and how excited are you about the energy that Coach McGuire has brought to the Red Raider program?
And so, funny background story. Me and Coach McGuire, I actually played against him in high school. We played Cedar Hill at Ryder.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And so he brought it up to me when I actually talked to him. He was like, "Hey man, I remember we had some good ball games back then." And then he told me, I actually remember who he was.
Did you have a big game against them? Do you remember?
I do remember.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of hard for us to get games. So we were 4A.
Y'all were really good though.
And they were 5A, and I think they ended up winning the state championship that year. But it was a great game.
Yeah.
But Coach McGuire, he's been open arms to all the past Red Raiders, and I'm gonna just tell you right now, I bleed red and black, so I'm everything Tech. And so
you bleed blue and silver on Friday night, and then red and black on Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's a great mixture, right?
There you go. Yeah.
But I'm a Red Raider at heart through and through, and I think I can't speak on him highly enough because I think he's doing a great job, especially for the Texas high school coaching community.
Sure.
And the alumni.
And I think, and all the facility upgrades they have going on over there. I mean, I'm sure you wish you had some of that stuff when you were a player. All that those facilities are very nice. We were out there at the coaches clinic in me and Mike Roach in 24/7 Sports. We were out there in January at the coaches clinic, and they were still doing the construction, but the mock-ups look unbelievable. I mean, the facilities there are just going to be great when they finish it up.
Yes, sir. They actually let alumni come in and do walkthroughs, and they explain everything, how the new innovations of the locker room are going to look, and the renovations of it. I can't even tell you what it used to look like. I mean, these kids are so blessed, and I'm like, man, if we had a fraction of that stuff.
I know, it's nice.
It is nice, state of the art.
Well, maybe as an alum, they'll get you coming there. When you come watch a game, I'm sure they'll take good care of you as an alum and go watch a game.
Yes, sir.
Final question for you, Coach. Now, your playing days aren't that far behind you now. I got to ask you,
yes, sir.
Can you get out there and run can you get out, if one of your kids starts talking a little noise, can you get out there and route them up a little bit? Can you get out there and do it, or at least once or twice?
Is the trainer going to be on site?
The trainer with the ice machine, right?
Yeah, I probably got one
route in you.
I got one slant in me.
Okay.
One slant. And, that's a short route. I can do that.
There you go.
But if they talk trash, I got to get out there and show them, even if I don't succeed.
There you go. Yes, sir. Well, Coach Ward, appreciate it. Congratulations on the new gig. Good luck in 2024, and we appreciate what you do for student athletes here in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Likewise.